Welcome back, wrestling WWE fans, to a story that's sliced through the heart of the wrestling world with the sting of betrayal and the weight of shattered trust. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on Roman Reigns' Raw backstage reaction to Brock Lesnar joining Seth Rollins' faction, a moment that left the tribal chief reeling in disbelief. This isn't just a wrestling plot, it's a deeply human tale of loyalty broken and legacies tested, gripping us with the raw emotion of a family torn apart. The air was thick with tension as Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, stood in a dimly lit backstage corridor, his face a mask of shock and fury upon hearing the news that Brock Lesnar had aligned with Seth Rollins. For fans in the US and the UK crowd in London, this wasn't just another faction twist, it was a gut-wrenching betrayal that echoed the pain of personal losses we all know too well. The image of Roman, a man who had built an empire on loyalty, now facing the sting of treachery, hit like a thunderbolt. Please like, share, and subscribe for more WWE content. The moment unfolded in a haze of raw emotion, captured in leaked footage that showed Roman pacing, his voice low but trembling as he processed Brock's defection to Seth's side. The US crowd erupted with chants when snippets hit the airwaves, fans from Miami to Seattle feeling the weight of Roman's pain, a leader betrayed by a rival he once respected. For American fans, this was a story of grief, a reminder of how trust can crumble under ambition's shadow. Across the ocean, British fans in London couldn't believe it as Roman's words cut through the silence, his disbelief laced with a quiet rage that spoke to the UK's storied wrestling tradition. The UK wrestling tradition was felt in every chant, as fans in England, steeped in tales of loyalty and heartbreak, saw this as a modern tragedy, a king abandoned by those he trusted. The scene felt like a gritty exposé, pulling fans into the heart of the drama. Insiders revealed the real story was even more devastating. Brock's decision to join Seth's faction wasn't just a power play, it was rooted in a personal grudge, fueled by years of rivalry and a belief that Roman's dominance had overshadowed his own legacy. For American fans, this was a scandal that cut deep, a glimpse into the real backstage dynamics where egos clash and alliances fracture. Across America, fans were in shock, their loyalty to Roman tested by this seismic shift. The UK crowd felt the sting just as keenly. British fans in London, who had roared for Brock's raw power in arenas like Wembley, now saw him as a villain in a story of broken trust. The UK wrestling tradition was felt in every chant, as fans in England took to social media, their posts filled with outrage and support for Roman, a man who had carried his family's legacy through countless battles. The betrayal wasn't just a storyline, it was a wound that resonated across cultures. Roman's reaction was fueled by more than just professional rivalry. Sources say he'd been battling a health crisis, a lingering injury from a brutal match that he'd kept hidden to protect the bloodline's image. For American fans, this was a sobering reminder of the sacrifices wrestlers make, pushing their bodies beyond limits for the fans. The US crowd erupted with chants, their voices a testament to Roman's resilience, a man fighting to hold his empire together. In the UK, the revelation took on a heroic quality. British fans in London couldn't believe it when whispers surfaced of Roman's secret hospital visits, his determination to lead despite the pain. The UK wrestling tradition, with its love for warriors who endure, saw Roman as a beacon of strength, his reaction to Brock's betrayal a stand for every fan who'd faced their own struggles. Fans in England began sharing tributes, inspired by his courage. The real backstage dynamics were a storm of emotions. Wrestlers like Jey Uso and Paul Heyman, loyal to Roman, were seen grappling with the news, their faces etched with disbelief. For American fans, this was a rare glimpse into the camaraderie that exists behind the curtain, a reminder that wrestling is a family, even when tested by betrayal. The US crowd erupted with chants, their voices a unified stand for Roman, a leader fighting to protect his legacy. In the UK, the focus was on justice. British fans in London, steeped in a wrestling culture that values honor, demanded that Brock and Seth face consequences for their actions. The UK wrestling tradition was felt in every chant, as fans in England called for Roman to rise, their support a rallying cry against treachery. The betrayal wasn't just an attack on Roman, it was an assault on the values fans hold dear. Alright, we're halfway through, and things are about to take a serious turn. If you thought you knew where this was going, think again, this is where the real drama unfolds. Stay tuned, because the best is yet to come. The real bombshell came when insiders leaked a shocking detail. Seth had orchestrated Brock's defection, exploiting their past rivalry to weaken Roman's grip on the bloodline. For American fans, this was a scandal that rocked the wrestling world, a glimpse into the cutthroat politics behind the scenes. Across America, fans were in shock, their social media posts filled with outrage, demanding justice for their tribal chief. In the UK, the news hit like a thunderbolt. British fans in London couldn't believe it when reports surfaced that Seth had manipulated Brock, playing on his resentment to fracture Roman's empire. The UK wrestling tradition was felt in every chant, as fans in England saw Seth as a tragic figure, consumed by ambition at the expense of loyalty. The scandal was a stark reminder of the cost of power in wrestling. Roman's response was a masterclass in defiance. He spoke of the sacrifices he'd made, missing family milestones, wrestling through pain, carrying the weight of the Anoa'i legacy. For American fans, this was a raw glimpse into the toll of wrestling, a world where health crises and family breakdowns are hidden behind the glitz. The US crowd erupted with chants, their voices a testament to Roman's unbreakable spirit. In the UK, Roman's words struck a deep chord. British fans in London couldn't believe it when he vowed to fight on, not just for himself, but for every fan who had ever believed in him. The UK wrestling tradition, with its emphasis on heart and resilience, saw Roman stand as a rallying cry. Fans in England began creating fan art and hashtags, celebrating a man who refused to let betrayal define him. The locker room was a powder keg of emotions, with wrestlers like Solo Sikoa and Sami Zayn offering quiet support to Roman, revealing a camaraderie rarely seen by fans. For American fans, this was a reminder that wrestling is a family, even amidst chaos. The US crowd erupted with chants, their voices a unified stand against betrayal, a call for Roman to reclaim his throne. In the UK, the focus was on redemption. British fans in London, who had cheered Roman's dominance in arenas like Manchester, saw his pain as a chance to rebuild. The UK wrestling tradition was felt in every chant, as fans in England urged Roman to rise above the drama, their support a testament to wrestling's power to heal. The moment was a turning point, a spark of hope in a dark chapter. Roman's reaction took a darker turn when he referenced the grief that haunted his family, naming fallen stars like Umaga and Yokozuna, whose losses still lingered. For American fans, this was a moment of raw sorrow, a reminder of the tributes paid to those who left too soon. Across America, fans were in shock, their cheers a plea for Roman to honor his family's legacy. In the UK, the moment was heartbreaking. British fans in London couldn't believe it as Roman's voice broke, his words a tribute to the fallen who had shaped his path. The UK wrestling tradition, with its reverence for those who paved the way, saw this as a nod to every wrestler who left a mark. Fans in England felt the weight of Roman's loss, their chants a call for justice. As the segment ended, Roman stood tall, his eyes burning with resolve as he promised to confront Brock and Seth, not for revenge, but for redemption. The US crowd erupted with chants, their voices carrying across arenas from Dallas to New York, as American fans saw Roman's defiance as a stand for loyalty. The idea that even in the face of betrayal, strength could prevail was a message that resonated deeply. In the UK, the moment was a rallying cry. British fans in London couldn't believe it when Roman dedicated his fight to the fans, a nod to the wrestling tradition that values connection above all. The chants in England grew louder, a chorus of support for a man finding his fire. The story was far from over, but Roman's stand was a moment of triumph. The fallout from this moment is still unfolding, with Roman preparing to face Brock and Seth in a battle that will define their legacies. For American fans, it's a story of resilience, a chance for Roman to prove that no betrayal can break him. Across America, fans were in shock, their anticipation building for a showdown that promises to be historic. In the UK, the excitement is palpable. British fans in London, steeped in a wrestling culture that celebrates heart and soul, see Roman as a warrior fighting for his family's name. The UK wrestling tradition was felt in every chant, as fans in England vowed to stand by Roman, their voices a bridge across the Atlantic. This is more than wrestling, it's a story of love, loss, and loyalty that binds us all. Roman Reigns' backstage reaction to Brock Lesnar joining Seth Rollins' faction on Raw isn't just a moment in WWE, it's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that even in our darkest moments, we can rise again. For American and British fans, this story speaks to the heart of why we love wrestling, It's about family, sacrifice, and the legacies we fight to protect. From the arenas of the US to the historic venues of the UK, Roman's journey is our journey, a saga of loyalty that will echo for generations.